Could you briefly explain what hydraulic fracking is?
Well, basically the idea is that you've got this rock below the surface that contains oil, but the rock that we're talking about, shale, is so fine grained that the gaps between the individual grains are too small to allow that liquid, the petroleum that's stored there, the oil there, to actually be extracted. It would be like have you ever had a Culver's shake at Culver's where the concrete shakes are so thick that you can't suck them out through a straw? They're so thick. It would be like that. You'd be trying to drill into the shale and trying to suck the oil out. It's too difficult to get it out because those openings are too small to permit the oil to go through them. So what they do instead, the hydraulic fracturing method, is they will drill down to the shale and then they will pump fluids and sand, and then they will fracture the shale so that the sand grains go into these tiny fractures, and basically it's like taking a pry bar down there and wedging the grains apart so that then you can suck that oil out more effectively.
Do you know any of the environmental impacts, such as like water contamination or?
Sure. One of the primary concerns about hydraulic fracturing is that even though there are attempts to isolate the fluids that are used to do the fracturing and treat the oil so that it can be extracted, their toxicity obviously is a concern if it was to get into the drinking water supply. The problem is that even though you try to, the companies try to minimize the potential for that happening, there are things that happen. Like the casings that are used to seal the drill holes, they can leak, and these hydraulic fluids can then permeate into the groundwater supply. And I don't know if you've had a chance to investigate this, but if you have the opportunity to see a movie called Gasland, that shows good examples of areas that have been contaminated because of, pretty sure because of the hydraulic fracture.
Yeah.